That shit happens behind me all the time when you guys just
Welcome to the Undrafted, Uncensored cast of Pod. Hosted by Nick Archuleta. Mosted by Colin Zanker. And last but certainly is least, Joseph Goodwin.
Welcome everyone to Undrafted, Uncensored, where it's that lovely time of year where everybody remembers they don't remember how to drive in snow, apparently. Good grief, man. Like this morning, it wasn't that hard. Just take it a little slower and you'll be fine.
You know, I was headed to work at 4:40. One stupid thing. Well, yes. So there was no plows out, which wasn't great. But yeah, I mean, I was going 40, 45 on the highway.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And there were a few idiots out there. Luckily, you can be an idiot. All right. That's just go slow, stay in the right lane. That's the one big thing if you're going to do that. But even for someone like me, I got my new car and I don't know where my brush was. You still brush off your car, all right? You still got to brush it off.
Yes.
Because it's the people that are driving with all the snow coming off flying at you afterwards. That makes it even more of an issue.
Yeah.
And so I wiped it off with my hands. I manned up and then I went over and picked up a scraper at AutoZone afterwards. Not a sponsor, but be happy to have you.
Get in the zone.
DMs are open.
The GB zone.
Yeah. So idiots driving. I mean, Joe, you probably weren't out as early, but you're probably out with some of those idiots today.
I thought you were about to say, Joe, you're probably one of those idiots, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you very well could be, but
that would be good. No, actually, yes, I was. I got up early to take my car to the shop called the Subaru Clinic because I have an overheating issue. So the cold ass weather actually was very comforting to me because it meant there was less likely that I would have an issue with the coolant leak that my car is having. And I got there just fine, thank God. And it was just warm enough still that it wasn't horrible to walk to a bus stop and get home in like 20 minutes.
Nice.
It was pretty simple. Like there was still water running down the gutters, so it wasn't even quite freezing yet. And I talked to my aunt who lives on the south side of town in Roxborough Park, and she's like, yeah, we got about a foot of snow and it's terrible. And I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, like the different discrepancies, like it seems like almost like county line and that area, that Highlands Ranch area was like they just got pounded. And I mean, I got snow, but it's like a couple inches.
My house got hit, but like it was an interesting start to the day. You know, started the day off with a bang and ended it with a bang.
Bang!
Lots of bangs.
All right, go ahead, Colin.
I mean, hey, Russell Westbrook against his former team, everybody. You got to go with the revenge games as the game is still going on. But man, I laddered all of his bets, 15, 20, and 25. His 20 to score 25 points in this game paid me off more than him getting a triple-double. I put $10 on it. I won $170, and his triple-double would have paid me $130, which he's not going to get unless they go to OT and he really pads his stats. But
no, this is the Nuggets.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. But, the day, the day was just like kind of like one of those, crap. I don't know where my brush is. This stuff sucks. Get to work. I'm a few minutes late because, I wasn't driving 60 down the highway.
See, I was more mad. I woke up this morning and I, got out of my bedroom, looked outside and just all that snow. And I took Monday off as like a mental health day. I needed a day. And I thought it was supposed to snow on Monday. So I was like, well, it's still a decent day. I mean, it rained a little bit here and there, but you look outside and you just see all that snow. And I just thought, I picked the wrong day.
I know of my 2 days of working at the hotel this week, one of them had to be today.
Yeah.
It is what it is. At least that means it can digest this Nuggets game. Look forward to tomorrow night's Thursday night football game. And really what happened at the trade deadline before this week starts, because I know we're going to get into all of it, but it was a hell of a week, really. There was no basketball yesterday, only hockey.
Yeah.
And it's now it's getting fun. As we sit here after the trade deadline, I mean, I don't know. What are we going into first?
I mean, let's just start with the Broncos real quick because it's the easiest. Shipping off Baron Browning. Not a big loss. I mean, I love the dude. Don't get me wrong. He was good when he played, but he kind of hurt himself in his own case because couldn't stay on the field. And I mean, the rookies and the young guys just took advantage of their opportunity, and Wally pipped him.
I mean, yeah, Nick Bonito's got a sack in how many games in a row now? Like 7 or 8. Like, it's
7
ridiculous.
or 8.
So, like, even though Baron Browning is maybe my favorite of our, like, 3 core pass rushers from, like, the last few years of Jonathan Cooper, Baron Browning, Nick Bonito. But, like, dude, Nick Bonito's outplayed him, and Jonathan Cooper has been better in the run. And, like, honestly, Baron Browning should have maybe just stayed at middle linebacker. That's a position the Broncos could really use a guy that could cover. But he switched to pass rusher because that's where the money is, and he's smart to do so. But for the Broncos' sake, like, man, they could have used a guy. But, like, you know what? He's one of those guys where, like, I would have liked to see him stick around because, again, he was one of my favorite guys. But, like, I'm glad to see him go somewhere where he'll get more playing time. Broncos get a draft pick for it. I'd say, cool, sounds good. You know, it'd be nice to see them do it with, like, you know, Greg Dulcich, but sadly the guy has no value. So.
Well, yeah, he's got Zeke Najee value right now. Well, I mean, none because the trade deadline's gone. But the problem,
true.
I mean, the thing with Browning is I don't know. I don't know if it was necessarily him switching the positions, because the coaching staff has done that with guys plenty of times before. I don't know if it's necessarily his choice. You're right. He should have stayed at middle linebacker. I absolutely agree. But I don't know if that was out of choice or necessity at that point in time, because remember, the Broncos have struggled with injuries at linebacker for a while, and he's been one of them that they've struggled with having injured, but they didn't have a consistent pass rush at all for a long time. I mean, it was Von Miller going out, then it was Kenny Young. I mean, it was a revolving door of pass rushers, and he was there more consistently than others. And we all know how important the pass rush is. So, yeah, there is more money. He probably didn't force his way, or like he didn't say, hell no, I'm not moving positions. But I think it was a coaching staff move, and obviously something that could pay off for him in the future. I mean, I sure hope so. I invested in him in the festival. I mean,
literally.
I was going to say, how's that stock looking?
I mean, I've still made 6 cents on it. So, I mean, my return on my $100 investment in Baron Browning has not been great so far, but at least I haven't lost money, and I won't lose money. It doesn't appear. I was still trying to figure out how I lose money on that investment, because regardless, I'm getting a percentage of his contract, and I don't know, whatever. I invested in him, and maybe in Arizona, in a team that is struggling defensively, he does get a chance to shine. The thing I worry about is he goes down to Arizona, and how bad, like, they're not Baltimore Ravens training staff bad, but they're pretty bad as far as the
turf,
the facilities, the turf.
Yeah.
You know,
Arizona
lunches. I mean, they might leave the dome open and get hailed on.
Been there, it sucks. Too hot.
Gila monsters and snakes and spiders.
It'll be nice in December
Scorpions.
instead of. I mean, he's definitely not dealing with this foot of snow right now. That's for damn sure. But I hope he can go down there and shine, because Arizona, they had TJ Watt, or JJ Watt, excuse me.
Were you watching that commercial?
They had JJ. Was he just on a commercial?
Yeah, there's a commercial with him. They keep
No.
talking about TJ. He's like,
No.
it's JJ, and he's like working out or getting all angry with everything.
I don't have the TV on. I was just a slip. But they had JJ Watt there at the end of his career, and they've been looking for a pass rusher, even bringing, basically since Calais. Like, they've been looking for a guy who could get to the quarterback. So I don't know if Browning is that guy, if he can stay healthy. I hope he is, not only for my own financial investment in him, but also because I like the dude.
Yeah.
He was genuinely a good guy. And he's not one of those guys you wanted to see ship off.
No.
But I am happy the Broncos did it, and I don't know if I'm gonna just make this self prophesying, but like I said, I don't think if the Broncos hung tough in that game against the Ravens, they ship off Barron. No. I think they hold on to him. I think they don't make any moves. No. And it's not like it's a big move, but I fully believe that at least getting a pick and moving something in some piece was Browning a piece I wanted to see go. No, because like I said, I like him. But is it better for the Broncos in the long term to add that draft pick? Yeah.
I think they make that move either way. I mean, he's been worked out of the rotation. It's just one of those where it was kind of better for everybody. I think no matter what, unless he balls out in that Ravens game for something, like if he's one of the reasons they win or something, hell yeah. But I think no matter what, like you just take the draft pick and you let the guy move on because it's just you've got other guys that you'd rather see. I think it's kind of and it's weird to say it like this, but it's kind of an addition by subtraction, even though he's not bad, just so you get more time for the other guys. So I think they were going to do that either way. And like I said, unless he was one of the big reasons but he wasn't seeing the field much enough to really be one of those reasons anyway. So I think it just kind of worked out. I feel like that was just a good necessary move to make. It would have been nice to see maybe a little bit of other guys, like I said, that they weren't going to keep around potentially, but they seem to want to keep guys maybe too long, which, I mean, we haven't seen this regime here long enough to see it really bear too much fruit, but, you know, I still get sick seeing guys like Khalif Raymond and Isaiah McKenzie. I don't know why I'm only thinking of receivers, but just lower tier draft pick guys that didn't get retained by the Broncos for cheap, and now, you know, we're still looking for those kind of players. So
how are you skipping over the most popular one there, Joe? Come on, Timmy Patrick.
Well, he's my guy. Everyone knows he's my guy.
You named Tim Patrick. How are you naming all these other guys and you're skipping Tim Patrick when we have Lil Jordan dropsies hanging out there in the first play of the game 2 weeks in a row, can't hold on to the damn ball, and then you have Tim Patrick who led the Lions in receiving one game. What was that, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
or 2 games ago. I think they had a bye 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Dude, I agree. But I've been talking about Tim Patrick the whole offseason, how excited I was and how sad I was that he was gone. Like, I can't just keep harping on that. But you're right. You're 100% right. That was one of the big, like, I kept saying my expectations for the team went down because you lose that reliable third down receiver. And even though I love Lil Jordan Humphrey as a concept, oh my God, 2 turnovers on the first fucking drive in the last 2 games. You can't have that. I don't care how cool your name is.
No. And man, he must not have any value either, because Sean Payton has got to bench him. I mean, it's got to be Sutton, Vele, Mims, and Franklin. Like, those have to be your 4.
I agree.
Sean Payton
values his size and his blocking ability, I think, too much. Because if you look at snaps, Lil Jordan Humphrey is in the top 2 every week, just for blocking and other like non-receiving reasons. And I think Sean Payton,
don't let him run any damn routes.
I agree, but like Sean Payton values him too much. So like, even though we're tired of seeing him out there, I don't think they ever tried or considered to trade him. I don't think he would have had much value anyway either. Honestly, the only other team that would take him would be the fucking Niners, because he can go out there and be their new Juwan Jennings with him hurt, just block and not catch balls. Or watch, he would, never drop anything with the Niners and never fumble and be amazing. Yeah. But dude, it makes me sick every time, but excited for him that he gets a chance to go to a Super Bowl with the Lions potentially. But like, dude, it makes me so sad to see, all of those type of guys. But I was thinking more like young prospects. Tim Patrick is a guy that we've, he household name as close as you can get with this fucking receiving core that we've had for the past, I don't know, since DT left.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
But
you guys saw it in the chat when that game started. Like, literally, I put in the chat, once that pick was thrown, I was like, game's over.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it. I'm not watching it anymore. I moved on.
I mean, not only that, I mean, that didn't help either, because that, I mean, obviously, you don't want to. That's how you don't want to start the game. But do these do these mistakes affect the coaching decisions too? Because like, what is with these fourth downs that Colin just
saw it. That's his guy right there, doing exactly what his namesake entails. Peyton fucking Swatson out there.
All right.
He didn't quite get a full swat on the ball, but it doesn't matter. Fingertip still counts. You know,
hey, block.
Nuggets knock off the undefeated. All right, we'll get to the Nuggets in a second. Sorry, Nick. I really did not mean to interrupt right there.
I'm not sorry. It was dope. Go ahead, Nick.
I'm trying to remember my train of thought. What is with these fourth down decisions too, though?
Yeah,
like you can't. Again, this is a coaching staff that you're trying to establish a quarterback that can win football games. Your job is to put him in a position to succeed and see if he's able to do that. But when you're going for it on fourth down like that, like, oh, we're trying to get him to succeed because we think we can. No, you're playing the Baltimore Ravens. Let's just get some stupid points on the board.
You know, I agree because I took Will Lutz over 1.5 field goals. Oops. How many times do you have to get pushed back on fourth down?
Yeah.
To kick a damn field goal. All right.
Exactly.
And they had chances, but like, dude, it's not. It felt like when, and obviously they're good this year, but we're still going to use them as the example. When Vanderbilt would be playing Alabama, they just need to go for it on fourth down all the fucking time, go for 2 all the fucking time, because that is what gives you a chance to actually win. Not doing that makes it really difficult, gives you way less chance of a win. But obviously, if those things don't go in your favor, then you're going to get blown out. But it's what you think gives you a chance. And I don't agree with that philosophy in the NFL, especially in a game against the Ravens that are a fucking attrition style team that are just going to beat the shit out of you. And then also Lamar Jackson and a bunch of fast ass receivers. And like, I agree with you guys that I would have rather gone for the conservative, just take some long field goals. But like, especially after that miss to Troy Franklin, you can't, it hurts, man. Like, when did Sean Payton become Dan Campbell and not Dan Campbell be the disciple of Sean Payton? Like, so that's what I think the thought process was behind it to an extent. Like, this gives us a chance against a better team, but like, fuck, man, sometimes you got to just be a little conservative. I don't know.
Well, the other thing that I really have issue with is, Nick, what you were talking about was getting Bo some reps. Fourth down is, I mean, it's basically the second most difficult play in a football game behind an onside kick.
Yeah.
And your success rate isn't great. And every time you're moving back, your success rate drops. Your percentages of being successful drops. So what does all of this failure do to Bo Nix? Does it give him confidence going in to another fourth down, having to try and attempt something again and again when it's failed over and over again? Or does that wear on him eventually? I mean, I hope it doesn't, but I'm afraid that it brings this team a lack of confidence when they do need an important fourth down in a game. Maybe it's not this season. It's probably not going to be this season because we've pretty much seen them outclassed already. But if there was a game this season that was very important, let's say they do have a chance at a playoff spot, and they're playing the Chiefs in week 18, excuse me.
Whatever.
In their 17th game of the season in week 18. They're playing the Chiefs, and they need to get a crucial fourth down, but yet all they've done is fail at a miserable clip this whole damn season. What's that team's confidence going into that fourth down in a game-winning situation?
Yeah, exactly.
Do they believe they're going to make it? Maybe. Is it false confidence? Or is it the Tebow fake hype confidence?
Yeah.
Like, I really, and it worked for Tebow, but I really worry about that when this comes to a real critical fourth down play, when they're actually needed.
Yeah, well,
that's where it scares me.
And I mean, yeah, there's a big difference between 4th and 3 and 4th and 8, but you should have the same confidence still between the two. You should be able to get out there and say, we're not behind the sticks. Here we go. It's fourth down. We've got this. We've done this before. But you can't go out there and say, well, we're going to go for it and then be conservative while trying to go for it. No, this is where my middle name is Dangerous at that point. I am the danger. That's what you need to go out there with that mentality at that point. It's fourth down. I am the danger.
I'm Dangerous.
I didn't mean the dangerous. I didn't mean dangerous.
I thought you did. Oh my god.
No,
I know you didn't, but it's all I could think of.
No, I didn't mean it.
I literally thought you were giving a Russ like comparison.
I was not.
Oh, Nick.
I was going for Austin Powers.
Nick still has his love for Russ.
Austin Danger Powers.
Yes, Austin Danger Powers.
Yeah.
I worry. I worry about the long-term effects on the confidence in this team when they need that. Yeah, maybe it doesn't matter this year. Next year will be a new season, and I hate saying that. It'll carry over, but those things do have a bad way of carrying over, just like the loss year after year to Kansas City.
Yeah.
I mean, those things hold over a team, their percentages, because what does everyone talk about in the offseason? We got to get better at this. Well, we got to get better at our fourth down efficiency because we were making it at a 5% clip. You sure as hell better get better at it then. You know what we got to get better at? Thanking everybody for listening to us. Appreciate y'all joining in, listening to us on a Wednesday night as we hit.
By the way, did
Broncos,
you put that comment in there?
I did it because I tagged you because it said you weren't streaming.
Oh, okay. I was messing with trying to reconnect my Facebook, and I saw it in there, and that's why I was like, when I saw it, that's when I like hit the bubble. And I was like,
how'd you get? I don't see where that bubble is. I didn't know how to pop them up.
So when you hover over the comment,
it says
gives you show.
Okay.
There
we go. We're learning this. Hey, if you want me to hit show on your comment, type something in there.
Type in the chat, people. Let's go.
See, I thought you were doing that on purpose.
No, I was not doing that. Yeah, I was. I tagged Nick because it said he wasn't connected, so I just want to make sure it went onto his Facebook.
We are so good
streaming on all of our platforms.
I reconnected it and
okay, it was still showing me the exclamation point. So either way, is
it reconnected now on your end?
It's not showing it on my computer, but if it's playing on yours, cool, we're good. I'm not worried about it. I did what I could. Let's
I'm very concerned.
Back to the Broncos.
I'll just share it later. It says I'm live now.
Share.
Okay.
There we go.
But I just
check mark. There we go.
Anyway.
But yeah, I just I sit here and I watch this Broncos team, and once again, I kind of called it. I kind of called the blowout with it, and I hope that, like I said, this does mean that this next week. We already heard Sean Payton say Audric Estime is going to get a longer look.
Yeah,
this is that youth movement. They're probably going to be some mistakes, but it's how will these guys grow? Will Marvin Mims get out there more?
Will Patrick Mahomes play with his little sprained ankle? Ooh, my ankle hurts. I sprained my ankle. No, you didn't.
See, when you say Audric Estime is going to get a longer look, all I can think of is just like a nightmarish, 30 different pictures of Andy Reid going, Fumble-rooski, Fumble-rooski. And it terrifies me.
2 fumbles and 15 carries does
double dipperoo.
It doesn't bode well for him. You have to give him a chance because Javonte, he came back, but he's not the same guy.
No,
he's not going to be around next year. You have to see if you have something in where you need to improve your team. If that means trading, I know everyone. I know a lot of people are out on the Kamara thing just because he got his contract, and I get it. It makes it more difficult. Probably not worth paying him all of that, but you lose the Russ money. The cap goes up. You'll have some more flexibility. You might be able to get a Kamara here to Denver at some point next year, especially if the
Sean
Saints
can make it happen.
At least if the Saints are going to be as bad as they continue to look, because I don't see them turning that around in one season.
What, 7 straight losses? Come on.
And they lost to the Panthers.
So, who hasn't?
That or the Broncos are going to get Taysom Hill in here. It's one or the other. But either way, you need to see if you have something in Estime. We already know as Broncos fans what we have in Jaleel McLaughlin, a good change of pace guy.
Unretire the 7, give it to Taysom Hill.
You can't have Jaleel running the rock all the time. But where is the next step? Because the Broncos, for Bo Nix, you need a running game and you need a tight end. You need those 2 things to help out. offensive line, you need a center. There's obviously pieces this team needs.
So Taysom Hill is both of those things.
Yeah,
he is a running back. He could probably play center also.
Let me throw this out.
Quarterback.
Let me throw this just random thought out there because you guys know I have an obsession with tight ends and fullbacks because I think they're like the most underrated players out there when they do their job appropriately. Right now, you have Burton out there as your fullback that he kind of comes in once in a while. He gets you some sneak yards. He gets you some sneak catches. And then you're like, totally forgot that dude played for us. And you get really excited. Why is he not starting a tight end? Why not throw him out there to, just take a few dunk and dink routes? I mean, he's proven he can catch the football. He's proven he can block. The dude's a beast when it comes to the running game. What are we doing?
He's not a Sean Payton type of tight end, though.
But still, sometimes
I get it. Answer. That's the answer.
I get it.
Though.
I mean, but sometimes instead of fruit punch Kool-Aid, you got to go with blue raspberry.
Well, but that's what the Broncos are doing when they're throwing him out there.
They're going blue raspberry.
Yeah, they're going blue raspberry at the time. Like they're giving you the fruit punch. All right, home. Oh, here's Burton. Okay, cool. He's gonna do something cool.
He's only 6 foot. 6 foot tight ends don't really exist. You gotta be taller and bigger in order to play kind of next to the offense.
Well, I'm not saying all the time, but I'm just saying
I would
have a serviceable quote unquote tight end for now.
I see what you're saying. I would counter with just use the fullback in the passing game more often.
I'm okay with that too.
Just do. Obviously that's like fucking sacrilegious to the modern NFL, but he's a guy that can be useful. Obviously,
very much so.
Use check. Shanahan uses him well. The Ravens still Patrick Ricard had a touchdown. He was a former defensive lineman. They just put him in there to hit people, and he became one of the best fullbacks in the NFL. Granted, it's fullback, but I agree. I think if you have a guy that can do some stuff, I wanted to see Andy Janovich out there more often with the Broncos offense because he was just fun to watch and he did little things. Man, if we had 22 Janos out there, it'd be all right. Let me tell you. But it's also at the end of the day, the fact that we're looking to guys like Michael Burton to give large contributions is really sad. That just goes to show that the tight end room is kind of that bad. Give it if Troutman can go out there and make one-handed catches on International Tight End Day, national, worldwide, galactic tight end day, then you know what? Give him some more targets. Try to just pretend that he's one of those other guys and just see what happens. Because at this point, what the fuck else do you have to lose? And then you go out there and you find something else when that doesn't work because it's not going to work. But I don't know, man. I want to see something. And yeah, it's looking like we're going to have to wait till next year.
Were you talking about National Tight End Day where I turned $10 into $9,000?
No, I don't think so. I was thinking about a different day.
So moving on.
It's back, baby.
Yes. And kudos to Cooper too. Before we forget, dude's adding more zeros to his life, not just the one he wears, but in the amounts that he's getting paid. Good for him. I mean, he deserved it. He worked hard. He came back from an injury too, and he looks good.
Yeah, and he has whenever he's been out there. Still a problem with this linebacking core has been the injury. So hopefully he can get there, stay healthy, and continue to earn his money.
Yeah. It gets hard. Like I was getting ready to start diving into the game, realizing we still have Saturday to record. So I was like, oh, wait a minute. Don't go ahead yet.
Yeah, we're not looking ahead to the game yet. We're recapping.
Well, it's also Chiefs week though, so a little bit of extra Broncos Chiefs goodness is understandable because we're excited about this one.
Well, this one has some potential to mess with some people's money, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I think. Have you seen the points for and the points against the Kansas City's given up? They're still a 17.
Okay, the Broncos were playing a Baltimore Ravens defense that's ranked in the 20s. The Chiefs are top 10. The Broncos, I mean,
I don't know.
Nick, I love you, man, but come on. Like, you just saw the Broncos get obliterated by the Ravens.
There was some
and the Broncos have
on top of that, though,
the
too.
Broncos have
It wasn't just the players.
The Broncos have a top 5 defense and were obliterated by the Ravens. And I know the Ravens are great offensively, but they sure didn't look it. And now you're going up against Mahomes, who just added DeAndre Hopkins, who had 2 touchdowns in the game.
But he didn't look good on Sunday night. Or Monday. Was it Monday?
He hasn't looked good all year, and they haven't lost.
He doesn't look good. The Chiefs' offense is not that good.
They didn't look good last year, and what did they do?
Say that
Super Bowl again.
Yeah, but still, I don't. I still.
They look different. The thing is that we're not comparing Patrick Mahomes to Patrick Mahomes when he came into the league and how he was lighting the league up with Tyreek Hill and that offense, and they changed their offense. He's looked better. Like, I know he has some more interceptions this year, but that's also due to his receivers as well.
But I'm also looking at the fact that this is an offense that hasn't scored more than 225 points, and they've managed to give up almost the same amount. They're not there. There's a piece there, and for whatever stupid reason, the Broncos are going to be that stupid team. They can come in and exploit that one little mark because they're just young and dumb.
Oh, Nick. I mean, we can get into this Saturday.
We're going to get to Saturday.
But this all looks a lot different if you look back at Monday Night Football. And I know it was a close game between them and the Bucs, but Xavier Worthy drops 2 touchdowns, basically, or steps out of bounds with two basic touchdowns. You have plays like that with this young squad. You had some games where it was Sky Moore, rest in peace, my last year's 5th round draft pick.
Sky Moore.
Yeah, Sky by Moore. He was gone. Then they lose Rasheed Rice. They lose Isaiah Pacheco. I mean, this team, we have to stop comparing this Chiefs team to who Mahomes was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and their offense.
Nick, shut up and let Colin tell us what you're saying.
I'm just saying we have to stop comparing them to that because that's not what this offense has evolved to. When you look at Tom Brady and his evolution too, there were seasons where he was throwing the deep ball. Look at what happened when he had Randy Moss, and then it was all short check down, boring dink and dunk crap that won them all these games. What the Chiefs are doing is boring dink and dunk football with every once in a while trying to get explosive play. Unfortunately, they have a rookie wide receiver who doesn't know how to stay in bounds. And they're losing points because of that, because they're missing on big plays, and some guys are dropping.
They always have that one guy though going. Look at Tony last year. The dude couldn't line up on sides to save his life.
Tony.
Yeah, and so they changed their offense when they got rid of Tyreek Hill, and that's what I'm saying is that this offense is not the same. So we can't expect those same numbers from Mahomes. At least the video game type of crazy numbers. You should still be very afraid of this offense because Mahomes will dink and dunk you to death.
I'm more afraid of the, again, style of play of this offense. It is power run centric, and it revolves around that running game and that Kareem Hunt just beating the shit out of you. That's the one thing the Broncos have proven. They're just right now too small to be able to stop. And until they prove us wrong, teams like the Chargers, teams like the Ravens, teams like the Chiefs, they're going to be more difficult for the Broncos defense to stop. And maybe this is the game where they figure it out and they get more stout against the run. And then, Mahomes ends up pulling in Mahomes. But the blueprint is there to do it. The problem is the Chiefs are still undefeated and they don't have any reason to think they can't do it. Meanwhile, the Broncos just fucked up how many 4th downs. So it's one where I would love it. It definitely is a trap game for the Chiefs. You just pray that they fall victim, but they never do that. So
see the problem that I can't agree that this one's going to be a trap game because the Broncos beat them last time, and they know that the Broncos broke their streak last year, and so I don't think the Chiefs and Mahomes have any sort of fall off or trap game mentality coming into this because they know what happened last year.
I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll get into it more Saturday when I have my notes more organized because I didn't organize them for an argument with Colin yet. That's what Fridays are for usually. So, since we're not going to argue tonight because it's snowy night and it's kind of Christmassy, he has me feeling something. So we'll go ahead and move on to man. The Nuggets cannot stay healthy, but they did win tonight.
I'll take it.
So, and Russell Westbrook scored over 15, over 20, and over 25.
And Joe, I don't know if you were here when I said this on the broadcast. That was the first time Russell Westbrook has ever scored 20 points in back-to-back games.
Really?
I should chew on that for a minute. Yep.
That's fucking insane.
Right?
In an 82-game season as the best offensive player in basketball for a couple years, and then still one of the best offensive basketball players until basically he got traded to the Lakers from Washington, because even him and Bradley Beal were lethal. To never go back. Wow. That's insane. I mean,
is that what I told you?
Him. I'll take it.
Really, right? That's what you said.
Okay, I was just making sure it was.
I mean, I just kind of like sometimes it makes sense because sometimes he was all assists and it was a 12, 10, and 10 night.
Yeah, he averaged a triple-double twice. Not necessarily 20-point triple-doubles. So yeah, I could. That still is flabbergasting to me. But fuck yeah, I'm glad it happened here.
All I can say is that I'm thankful to DraftKings for not putting on a 30-point bet, because I would have done that and I would have missed by one. Thank you for capping it at 25 and making that better odds than you did for the triple-double, which you didn't get. But
no cap.
Yeah, I don't really care. Westbrook, I mean, I saw this one coming. He's playing against his original team. He's one of those players who holds grudges or will play up to his competition, I guess I should say, depending on who it is. He is the kind of guy who you feel like will take some certain nights off. And this just wasn't one of those nights for him to take off. And it just so happened that it was while Jamal Murray was injured. And also having AG out there, he knew he probably had to play a bigger role in the offense, getting to the basket. Excuse me, rebounding. I mean, he had one assist going into halftime, but he saw like 4 or 5 boards. And then Jokic just took over all the rebounding in the second half. I don't know what he ended at, but last time I saw, he was at like 22, 15, and 13. 15 boards, 13 assists. So this Nuggets team, I talked about this earlier. I mean, Joe, I don't know where you sit, or if you have changed or thought anything
in my apartment
about it, but I talked about this when when the Olympics were going on, that the Nuggets were going to be fine as long as they had Jokic. Because Jokic literally willed Team Serbia to the bronze, the bronze medal game, whatever. I think they won it, right?
Yeah, they won the bronze.
And almost beat Team USA single-handedly. So I don't know what all the it would be better if the Nuggets had Jamal Murray, but I'm not as worried as long as the Nuggets have Jokic.
Well, and as long as they have Jamal Murray in the playoffs, because we've seen plenty of these teams with just Jokic. And granted, Jokic is been getting better every year since the few years without Murray and without Porter. He still needs a supporting cast, but that's just basketball. Like, no team wins with just one good player. Even sometimes it's just one great player and then other good role players around them. But those role players are still fucking top tier players at what they do. So you really never see just one guy. If the Nuggets were deeper around Jokic, I'd feel better about it. And maybe they're starting to develop into that point to where they are. There's strides are being made by Julian Strawther, by Peyton Watson. Swatson is coming into his game this year, especially because he was having a slow start. But it's the beginning of the season. Like, there's a lot of panic, a lot of people freaking out. Michael Porter still needs to step up, but then again, I haven't seen the stats from this particular game, so I'm not sure. Okay, good. That's huge. I wonder, did Porter start at the 4? And did they start somebody else at the 3 maybe? Because I didn't really catch much of this game, sadly.
The starting lineup was Watson, Porter, Jokic, Westbrook, and Brown.
Okay, I'd like to see how they set it up. Whether they put Watson at the 4.
Porter shot 60% from 3. He went 6 for 10. He scored 24, 7 boards, 3 assists. Christian 24, points, 4 of 8 from 3, 50%, 8 rebounds, no assists, but his assists aren't really his game. This was a team win, and that's kind of what I was pointing back to, though, Joe, is that you said he needed some role players and some good guys. The Nuggets have some good guys. And I think Jokic realized in the Olympics that he doesn't – having a Robin helps, but Batman can do it alone.
Yeah.
And Jokic can do it alone as long as one of these guys is hitting shots. That was a problem with Serbia. If any of those guys hit shots in Serbia, they beat Team USA. Literally, if anybody hits shots.
Yeah, Dobrovic missed a couple. Bogdanovic only missed that one, but it was massive, the one he missed. That would have been huge. And I think that's the biggest thing the Nuggets still need to go after is just – and whether it's even just a bench tier shooter guy, you just need guys that can knock down shots. I saw a great rumor today. The Nuggets were interested in Lonnie Walker IV. That's a dude that's just got a solid 3-ball, can play some defense. He has a 4 in his name. That's pretty sweet.
23, 20, and 16, by the way, for Joker.
Oh, okay. Word.
He got Jesus. He almost had the 20 straight across.
Yeah. 20.
I bet you
boards,
if Strother had hit some of his shots, he would have had 20 assists.
Probably.
But the whole starting lineup is in double-digit scoring, which you don't really see from Watson. Man, I should have put it on Watson instead of Strother. I thought Strother was going to get a little bit more run in this game because I figured the Nuggets were going to be kind of down.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm glad they weren't because obviously, they won the game. But Watson scoring in double digits. I don't know the last time he scored in double digits because I'm pretty sure it hasn't been this year. Had to be last year at some point. If he has,
so, yeah.
I don't think I don't think there's any way he has this year. The bench has been inconsistent at best recently. So,
but he had 3 blocks. He had 3 blocks and a steal. Watson did.
Yeah,
and he had 2 turnovers, but I really.
But that means he's getting involved on offense. If he's getting turnovers, he's trying to pass. He's trying to do stuff. That's the opposite of what you want. But that's still kind of progress considering who it is. Even if you saw Christian Brown with a really bad 3-point percentage, but it's oh shit, he took 3 or 4 more threes he normally does. I'll take that. So I think you're right. I think he's slowly getting better.
And that's a defensive guy that you can have off the bench. What I find really weird is that the Nuggets, Coach Malone, only played 8 guys tonight. He didn't go deep on the bench.
That's not weird.
There was
Malone. That's kind of Malone-ish.
Well, how is that Malone-ish when you lose Jamal Murray, when you lose AG, you're only going 3 deep on the bench when Sarge didn't play at all.
He hasn't played, no.
Well, I know. You're also playing the undefeated OKC Thunder, so I would want my best out there against them because as we just so eloquently put it, knock them off that undefeated pedal.
Yeah, they won. So it just still surprises me that they only went 3 deep on the bench.
Why? That's what Michael Malone is known for. Is not playing a lot of bench guys and not playing a lot of young guys and sticking with his not as much as Tom Thibodeau or anything.
Yeah, ask Utah, 7 freaking guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's one of the things that's one of the tenets of Michael Malone is that he will just keep his rotations a certain way to win the game, sometimes at the detriment of the team. Like last year, we needed to see some of these younger guys get more of a run, and he's only playing certain guys that he trusts. So I'm not surprised at all. That's Malone in his bag is, which 8 guys you're going to put out there. And then he just sticks with them, maybe messes with the lineups a little bit, but especially with the injuries to their top 2 forwards before the season started in Deron Holmes. And then now Aaron Gordon as the starter, Saric has been so inconsistent. I don't think Malone wants to throw him out there until he feels more confident with the team, until Saric feels more confident. And then, of course, Malone will feel more confident in him. But that just screams Michael Malone to me. That's one of the things that Calvin Booth doesn't seem to get about Michael Malone. And so hopefully they can keep finding that happy medium like we've been talking about, because there seems to be that big disconnect between the two. But hey, shit worked tonight.
It did.
You know where there's not a disconnect? Between the Avalanche and the Nuggets, and something at freaking Ballerina, because Kel McCarr leaves the game last night with an injury too. Somebody's got to take some sage. Anybody got some sage?
I do.
Got an old grandma that was a witch or something.
I got some. It's a witch.
I'm desperate at this point.
I have some Dragon's Blood sage actually.
Okay, good. Yeah. So I expect you to be at Ballerina tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Inside and out.
You send in the limo to pick me up?
Yeah, here's the key.
We go send the private plane.
Yeah,
because I'm not driving tomorrow morning if I don't have to. You got to be
the one for Miss Peggy.
I mean, I'd be happy to go bring some sage down there.
Okay, noon.
You know, maybe noon. Okay. Then you could call an Uber for me at noon. If it's going to be 9 a.m., you got to get a limo for me.
Yeah, I was gonna call a limo for myself.
Maybe I will go walk. You know what? That sounds like a good idea. I think I'll go walk around Ballerina with some sage.
That sounds kind of funny.
I'm not even joking.
Record it on for Instagram. Wear all of your Avs gear. That sounds great. If I didn't work tomorrow, I'd go with you, but I'm off Friday.
I mean, I don't know if I'm doing it tomorrow, but I'm doing it soon. That sounds like a pretty damn good idea.
What are you doing Friday? You want to go?
Oh man, what did I do?
Do you hockey?
I'll wear my. I'm doing Kurt Hansen.
We'll figure it out.
That's it. Yeah. Either way, I'll wear my Static Nordiques jersey. It'll be sick.
They need sage. They need something because you're right. What did we talk about the other day? The Nuggets and the Avs can't win at home. I mean, luckily they won the game the other night.
The Avs won last night.
Yeah,
they beat Kraken. The Nuggets won tonight at home.
It's just
maybe it's starting to turn. It's the injuries, I mean, obviously Kale's supposed to be fine. We'll find out tomorrow. He skated today, and they said he was going to be fine. But once you get on that airplane and start flying around, Colin knows this. Once you have that injury, that pressure can really screw with your.
What the hell happened to my knee?
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
And that's the thing. I mean, I know the Nuggets and Avs both won, but it's always feels like something. I mean, this Nuggets game, it's like, there was nothing that happened in this game that I know of besides Chet Holmgren getting an elbow to the face. But on the Nuggets side, it seems like they came out healthy, even though they were already injured going in. So, but for the Avs, they won the game, but then Cale McCarr leaves early.
Yeah.
And the game before it was oh my gosh. Not Kovalenko.
All right, so I found one hockey player whose first name is Sage.
Sage Rosenfels.
Okay.
That's all I could think of. It's like someone's name is Sage. Maybe there's a hockey player. He's a prospect. His name is Sage England. Sadly, not Rosenfels. The Avs could, bring him to the Eagles.
Bring in some Sage.
Just bring in some Sage. Get him to the affiliate team. That's all you need.
Anyway,
also, hire Sage Rosenfels as a consultant. I don't care.
Anyway,
should we consult the college football playoffs?
I think so.
Yeah, let's jump into that real quick. Thank you. CU's ranked number 20 right now. That's a lot higher than I expected them to be. I don't know why. I mean, this is what I love about this is this has gone from this big production of concerts and whatever Saturday kickoff show and every celebrity known to man showing up to Boulder and all of Prime's friends and family and homies and everything all up and down the sidelines to a team that's kicking ass and taking care of business finally.
Every day.
I love it.
Well, this has turned from the sideshow being the show to the guys on the field putting on the show.
Yeah.
Because all those people are still there. I mean, they're all still there. The thing was, it was like last year, it was like, oh my God, who's on the sideline? Who's there? And now it's just like, okay, they're here again. But the Buffs are playing damn good football.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those people that were on the sidelines were such a big focus because CU had never experienced something like that before. And the influx and how quickly it happened was kind of shocking to the system.
Yeah.
So to see it happen, and then this year it's just like, okay, well, cool. They're still here. But these guys on the field are playing damn good football. And to be at 20, you just go out and win this weekend. Please.
Yeah, 1 week at a time.
Like that,
1 week at a time. Don't get over your head. Just, I mean, the Red Raiders it's going to be a tough battle.
Yeah, and I'm going to worry about this CU team taking teams lightly until the season is over. or thinking their own shit smells good, all right? Because we saw it last year. I saw it, and we felt that downfall and that tumble start and that snowball become an avalanche. And so I'm going to be nervous about it until the season's over. But
at a classy bowl.
At a classy bowl, yeah. But I hope that they took this week off as bye week. And they come in, or the Red Raiders are here, right? Yeah.
No, that's this Saturday.
It's in Lubbock. Yeah.
Yeah.
They go down to Lubbock and they take care of business because
with
the losses last week, Kansas State losing, you're going to have another top 10 team lose this week because Alabama and LSU play this weekend. So you're going to have some losses and some movement in the rankings. Can the Buffs move up another 2, 3, 4 spots? Because Kansas State, the Buffs lost to them by 3, but they're 2 spots ahead of them. I believe K-State's at 18, right?
Yeah, didn't K-State lose a game or something?
They lost last week. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's huge.
So they're within 2 spots of them. If CU goes out and takes care of business,
what are we doing?
They can pop up. Like, there's a lot of chances for the Buffs to move up in these rankings.
K-State's right above CU.
Oh, they're at 19.
So yeah, from 25 up, it's Army, Missouri, Clemson, Louisville, Wash State, CU, K-State, Pitt, Iowa State, Ole Miss, LSU, Texas A&M, SMU, Boise State, Alabama, Notre Dame, BYU, Indiana, Tennessee, Penn State, Texas, Miami, Georgia, Ohio State, and Oregon.
And even you got to wonder about a team in not Penn State, Texas who lost.
Oh, Longhorns, yeah.
How do they respond to their loss? Because maybe things fall apart and their wheels fall off.
Yeah,
they were the unbeatable team this year. So you just
until they weren't.
You have to, yeah. You have to see you really go take care of business, and we'll preview that game a little bit more Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, they got a midday game anyway. Finally, so thank God no nighttime CU Buffs game.
Yeah.
You know what else is nice? When Collins over.
They'll be in the victory formation at nighttime, though.
This is the victory formation.
All right, boys, here we go. Best play in football. 6 right tight diamond victory on 1. Break.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, it's jam.
The Pick'em segment, proving that Colin Zanker is the most humble man in the history of time. Least. Featuring Nick Archuleta, wishing he was somewhere else. And Joe Goodwin, just kind of winging it.
That's right. This is the victory formation, and only one of us was really in the victory formation this week, as we had 3 games on the slate. One of us went 2-1. The other 2 of us went 1-2. We'll start things off with the Pittsburgh Panthers versus SMU. Well, Nick and myself both picked Pitt to win that game, and SMU dominated.
Oh, yeah.
Joe, you got that correct. All of the favorites won this week, all right?
Yeah.
So there was no big wins, 13-23 for Joe there. Colts went into Minnesota to take on the Vikings, and Flacco looked like he belonged back on the couch for some of that time, and probably his wide receiver should also catch the ball. But
what?
Nick and I both got that one. Nick and I both got that one correct. Winning 14-44, the big win of the week, $4.44 profit. And then Monday Night Football, the Bucks and Chiefs, we already talked about it here. The Chiefs escaped, thank you, coin flip, with a victory to beat the Bucks at minus 470. Joe, you're the only one who got that one correct, winning 12-13, meaning on the week, you won $15.36. Both Nick and I lost $5.56. Joe, you're still in first at $895, almost over $900. I'm at $847. Nick, you are at $763.
Damn.
Let's see if we can get that flipped around, and we will start. Oh, hey, someone dropped someone in the league. We start with Thursday Night Football. We have the Bengals taking on the Ravens. Ravens big favorites at plus 265. Bengals at minus 215. Has Joe Burrow found the recipe for success as of late, as he's thrown multiple touchdowns in his last 3 games? Nick, who you got?
I already got Joe Burrow starting as my quarterback against you, so I'm going to go with the Bengals.
Oh, is it against me?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I have him in another league. Damn it, I don't know what to do. All right, Joe, who you got?
It's tough to pick against the Ravens, and I really want to because I just have a feeling it's the Bengals, so I'm going to pick the Ravens because that's usually, wrong.
Damn it. I see, Nick. Why don't you just start Jordan Love this week so that I can root for Joe Burrow?
Because he's on a bye.
Yeah, It also felt like Colin was trying to steer us towards the Bengals, bringing up all those touchdowns that Joe Burrow's thrown recently. So you know what? I'm not going to let him get me.
After what I saw from the Ravens, it should be a much closer game. I would definitely take the points in this game for the Bengals because I don't these divisional games just have a way of going that way. But I really did want the Bengals to win this game, but because Nick brought up Joe Burrow, I have a backup quarterback in my other league, so I'm just going to go with the Ravens to spite him. Next, we move on to Thursday Night Basketball in the NBA. Not a great matchup, but both teams that are evenly matched, both at 3-2. The Trailblazers visit San Antonio, founded by the Spanish in 1603. Not really. That's a lie. Don't Wikipedia. Don't fact check it. The Trailblazers underdogs at plus 160. San Antonio Spurs favorite at minus 192. Joe, who you got?
Fuck it. Let's take San Antonio.
Joe is taking Wembanyama and the Spurs. I am going to take the Trailblazers. The Spurs got blown out tonight by the Houston Rockets. And so just because they're on a back-to-back, give me Portland. Nick, who you got?
I wish I hadn't known about the blowout because then I would have. Give me Portland.
Well, Nick, there was no blowout tonight. The Spurs actually won the game.
You just said.
I'm kidding.
Oh.
I just didn't want you to pick with me.
Got him again.
I didn't hear who you picked.
First the Bengals, now this one.
Yeah, right. All right, and then we move on to hockey. This is Friday night's hockey game. We have the Golden Knights facing off against the Kraken. This one is in Seattle. No odds because it is a game on Friday night. The Golden Knights are one of the top teams again in the NHL, but the Kraken at home, it's just tough for me to pick against them playing in whatever their pond is called. So give me the Kraken for no apparent reason besides being at home. Nick, who you got?
Give me Vegas.
Joe, who you got?
Vegas. Hockey. Yeah.
And we move on to college basketball. Top 25 matchup. I believe this is tomorrow. This might be Friday. Sorry. But either way, it's North Carolina, number 9, versus Kansas, number 1. North Carolina big dogs at plus 240. Kansas favorite at minus 298. Nick, who you got?
The Jayhawks.
He says Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Joe, who you got?
What Nick said.
Damn it.
North Carolina, take your shirt off. I'm not going to do it.
Don't do that.
I don't want to get us demonetized. But I'm taking North Carolina. I love North Carolina. Shout out to my Uncle Jimmy in North Carolina. What's up? Hope everything is good and you are safe from all those storms. But North Carolina, they're my favorite college team. I wish I could have played there, but their baseball team was a little too damn good for me to make it.
Good, because I had the dream of Miami, and I went No.
That ain't happening.
No.
That's funny. I was closer to Miami than you were.
Right?
You know what? We were just daydreaming at that point in time.
No, that we were. Oh, the days of the youth wasted on the young. Oh, man. Well, thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight. We do appreciate you wherever you are on whatever platform. If you're here in this nasty weather, make some hot cocoa, go cuddle on the couch, turn on a movie, and just pretend that you don't have to go to work tomorrow because I'm giving you the day off.
Nick's sending the limo to me.
I'll send you a limo, all right. For Colin Zanker and Joe Goodwin, I'm Nick Archuleta. This has been Undrafted Uncensored. Thank you, Michael Spillane, and everybody over at E5280sports.com for hosting us. Thank you, Pikes Peak Sports Cards, our sponsor. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, love, tell, and show. And tell.
Show?
Love.
North Carolina, take the shit off.
No.
If you're in for North Carolina, take your shirt off. You're not on camera like Colin is.
I didn't click end screen.